Yeah, live.
Yeah. There we are.
There
We're
we go.
live.
Are we all live? Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
brilliant. Okay, I see it now. The clock is running. Folks, a very good morning, a very good afternoon, and a good evening to you all, wherever you may be watching us from, be it live or on the replay. This is your Wednesday, your weekly shit talk, rugby analysis, armchair analysis from four of us here this evening. Unfortunately, James Grennan couldn't join us. Claire couldn't join us. Danny will be joining us. Richard has tonsillitis. The list goes on. We have an injury list, folks. That's what we have. We have an injury list.
Yeah.
So there we go. With me is Mike Reedy, the Irishman in Scotland, the superb analyst, as always. The stat man, Peter Martin, is also with us. And we are welcoming back a very valued member of our team. She's always behind the scenes. She's always there. Sarah Duffy, welcome back. How the hell are you?
I'm great. I'm great. That's why I put MIA Duffy, because I have been missing in action, but it's great to be back.
I thought you're going undercover as Mia Duffy, but anyway, there you go.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
wondering I was looking up to see what that was there. You know,
yeah, no,
Oh, I
I'm
just say
all
that
good.
now.
Good. Thanks so much. Yeah, no, I'm delighted to be back. I had other commitments with under 12 teams and stuff that I have a commitment to these boys, and it all finished up tonight, and I couldn't wait to get back on this and take over and put a bit of restraint on a couple of people.
Yeah.
No, I'm only joking. I'm delighted to be back and back talking about this beautiful sport we all love.
Good stuff. But you do it. In fairness to you, Sarah, you do a lot of work for that team, that club, don't you?
Yeah, I go between Gaelic and the football team in the town, and I love it. The same boys are on the same team, and I can't get enough of them. It's all young sport. It's all kids playing and enjoying any sport. It doesn't have to be soccer or Gaelic or football. Like the rugby is thriving in our club, and I have to give a big shout out to the Red Kites, who is the it's like a rugby for all team they have out there. They're incredible. They played against the Wicklow teams, the Wicklow Warriors, I think they're called. But all these teams, some with additional needs and whatnot, they are incredible, and hats off to the coaches. I'm sure they're all the same all over the country, but the ones in Wicklow, I think all credit to the teams. They're brilliant. The coaches are brilliant. And it's been great to watch their results and everything, and the stuff on Facebook as well. So hats off. Everyone recovered. Oh yeah, injury list. Oh yeah, welcome back, Mrs. Doyle. Thanks very much. Yeah, I haven't been called that in a while actually.
There you go.
Yeah,
a few people have
just been called Mrs. Doyle.
A few people have welcomed you back. Anyway, folks. Yes, an interesting, depressing, annoying. Fuck me, Jesus! What a last few games. But anyway, before we go into talking about the games, just one thing I wanted to bring up. Before all the analysis, the DuPont's criticism of the ref, that he basically said that the level of refereeing wasn't up to the standard of rugby that he was playing. Peter Martin, I'll come to you first on this. There's been 31 yellow cards, 7 red cards, 2 noticeable red cards, Tom Curry and Ethan de Groot. What do you think? Is DuPont justified in what he's saying?
Normally, generally speaking, when we talk about the rugby and the referee in rugby, it doesn't get the same attention, and I suppose it doesn't get the headlines that a referee in soccer or indeed Gaelic will get. But it's come to the point now, and I would say in this present World Cup, that the refereeing unfortunately has taken the gloss off an awful lot of the rugby. There hasn't been a single game literally that has gone by, in my opinion, that there hasn't been some sort of controversy over various different decisions. I suppose primarily, starting off in the group stage, because we have a lot of the Pacific nations there. I think there's no doubt, particularly in the Welsh game, that Fiji were robbed. There was an incident as well, in the number of incidents, I think, as well in the England-Samoa match, where Samoa got hard done by as well. Now that has obviously continued on, getting beyond out of the group games into the quarterfinals. And look, we've seen what we've seen over the last weekend. You know, it's not good enough given the fact that we have TMOs there, and there's been several noteworthy incidents where a TMO, you're going, there is a TMO in this match. Why aren't they basically getting the referee on the mic and saying, hang on, you need to stop, you need to see this X, Y, or Z happened? Like, even going back to, for example, the fact that the TMO outwardly dismissed Schoeman's WWE style dump over the Horden in the Scotland game against Dan Sheehan. Honestly, what the absolute fuck is going on there? Like, the fact that I think it was Tom Foley.
But they would put that down to handbags. It's, historical handbags that happens.
Yeah, hindsight's fantastic, Peter, and all that. But what was the case that, Schoeman put Sheehan over on his back? If there was a piece of the metal frame or something there, and if all of a sudden, Sheehan on the square of his back went straight into it, a sharp edge on his back.
Damage for life.
Damaged vertebrae in his back. Yeah. And, the TMO's going, there's nothing to see here. You're looking at serious negligence here. And World Rugby has enough going on at the moment with various ex-players, the likes of Alex Popham, Steve Thompson, our own David Corkery, going after the unions for duty of care and so on. They don't bloody well need it. So, they cut straws at their arse. They're sailing too close to the wind. That had to, it's not good enough. It's simply not good enough.
Okay, fair enough. Point well made, Pete. Thanks for that. Mike Reedy.
Well, I echo everything Peter has just said. The whole thing about World Rugby have emphasised going into this World Cup was player safety and player welfare is paramount, and that didn't show. It didn't like the behaviour during some of the games, certainly. I mean, they started off with the red card for Tom Curry in an early game, and the Groot got a red card, and then they kind of took their foot off the pedal, and they let. I mean, it looks as if South Africa needs to kill somebody to get a card, and I mean they got away with the first 3 games. They got away with incidents in all 3 of them, including our game, and. I mean, the incident with that Peter was alluding to with Dan Sheehan, that's bordering on assault. That's assault. Any day of the week, any place else in the world, that's assault. What he did, and nothing to see. And I also think as well,
Mike. But Mike, sorry for interrupting you, Mike. My apologies. But what I'd like to say, and to you, Pete, as well, I don't understand, and Sarah, I don't understand why that incident was not looked at. You have 4 or 5 officials looking at that. It was in front of Wayne Barnes. You've, I don't know how many, 25, 30 bloody cameras on it. But I just, I know the game is past and we're talking about the past and whatever, it's over. But I just don't understand why it wasn't looked at. Mike,
it has to be looked at. Because
like
Peter said,
the time frame. The time frame, I think, is.
There could have been anything. There could have been anything, literally anything outside of that hoarding, like at the other side of that hoarding, that he could have. It could be life-threatening injuries he could sustain for something as crazy as that, and like for it not to be even, there was no consideration given to look at it. And there's also been incidents, and there was a couple in our game, in fact, where Wayne Barnes dismissed the intervention of the TMO on 2 occasions. He did. Yeah. He was asked to look at something, and he actually brushed off Johnny Sexton because there was I think it was Brodie Retallick that had a high tackle on Bondiaki, and he said there's nothing to see. They've looked ahead, and the TMO had said there is something to see. So he's like, there's been incidents like that. They have to be consistent. Consistency has been the greatest. Like,
they're consistently inconsistent, Mike.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah. But Sarah Duffy.
Yeah, I mean
Sarah?
the two lads have more or less hit it on the head, and the whole point of a referee in any game is the health and safety of the players, no matter how many there is on the pitch. And like it was so physical and so action packed that I actually agree with Dupont saying it wasn't up to standard. I actually would have put Wayne Barnes in there as a ref for that game. I know he didn't the Dan Sheehan thing. I actually can't talk much about the Ireland game and the physicality and the calls that should have been made. But if Wayne Barnes had a ref that last game, I think it would have been better. And I like you said, nobody likes giving out about a ref, you know. I mean, we don't, but we do. And I think those two teams ended up playing in such a way to try and take the referee out of the game. So the frustration didn't boil over with them. But obviously being a captain and a class player like Dupont is, the frustration got the better of him, and that's completely understandable. What happened there?
Sorry, no, I was trying to add Danny to just, but anytime I add him in, there's fierce feedback.
Danny Healy, Ray Brosnan magic
Sarah.
is just, it's pure interference.
Sorry, Sarah, for that. I was trying to bring Danny back in for the second time, but anytime I bring him in, there's just mad feedback on the sound. So I'm leaving.
But you know what?
Sorry,
like,
Sarah, go on.
It's a case of the two teams had to fight like dogs, and that, you know, to try and play and take the referee out of the game, because it was naturally going to boil over at frustration. And we've all played at amateur level, and I'm sure even at international level, it's very frustrating. I agree with Dupont to a certain extent, but I don't agree with some of the calls of the ref. And, you know, when it's said and done, sure, what can they do? Only review it. But I don't think he was up to his standard as a New Zealand ref, like that he should have been. Okay, that's my.
Okay.
I'm not going to repeat what the lad said, but like as you said, consistently not consistent.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Sarah. And just some comments coming in there. Yeah. I think Sunday night's ref was just overwhelmed. The speed and ferocity from both sides had him boggled. I also think he was poorly served by his assistant, the AF's assistant referees, who were completely absorbed by the game rather than in the game. I think all the assistants are waiting to be asked where they should be more vocal. I think that's a fair point.
Absolutely.
Why isn't this showing me this? Hold on 1 second now. Sorry, just showed us. Sheehan's. Where's that gone? Sorry, hold on 1 sec, folks. Sorry.
Yeah, Sheehan's incident
wasn't looked at because it hadn't kicked off.
It wouldn't have happened
Sarah?
If it was happy to card a player that started the incident, and was happy to card the player that started the incident.
That doesn't make sense. The TMO can intervene and everything.
That makes no sense at all.
It doesn't have to be a card issued to a player for the TMO to have a look.
It should have been spoken about.
It doesn't make sense, whoever's saying that.
It started on the pitch, escalated, and went up over the hoarding. So it was still on the pitch. It should have been carded. It was on the pitch.
Should have been at least spoken about.
Do the refs get enough training and support? I would say they do. But they have to. Geez, like an international test referee, you'd have to go through the rigmarole of training and support and all that sort of stuff. Although Alan Quinlan in his commentary did say he was amazed that I know we're harping on about the Sheehan incident. Alan Quinlan said Quinny said he was amazed it wasn't looked at. You know, so
yeah.
Anyway,
you know what, lads?
There we go. That's us.
They didn't, and that's it.
They didn't. It's over, right? That's it. Anyway, on to the games that happened. Sorry, I'm just looking at questions that are coming in here. Sorry, one more day before we go into the games. As you can see, Mrs. Doyle, Danny Brosnan's Wi-Fi is still a great source of amusement. Great to see you back. Regard, James. There you go. Go on, James. Okay, Sarah, I'll come back around to you when we go around that way. Wales v Argentina. Did you see that one? Any?
I was actually doing housework at that time because that game wasn't a priority.
I'm sure that was more fulfilling, Sarah. Getting those last bits of ironing and maybe even lashing out the Hoover. More fun.
Yeah, I did actually hoover. I just didn't mop. You know, not a fucking magician.
But you don't have to hoover in one hand and a mop in the other one, like.
Honestly,
like the way you do it, Mike.
Extra fucking hands out of me back and say, "Did you see them?" You know, when men can't find the towels that are in front of them in the fucking hot press, and then lo and behold, magic eyes, magic fucking hands. There it is. Wales and Argentina game.
Thank you very much.
Oh no, I don't think I don't really have much to say on it, lads, because I didn't see enough. But every now and then I kind of stuck my head and looked at the top left-hand corner of the TV and went, "All right,
that'll do."
That'll do, yeah. That'll do, Ted. That'll do. Right, Peter Martin, Wales versus Argentina. One game I got right in my predictions.
You did.
Anybody got a prize from?
No, just
stand up there, Peter. Give us a twirl, and I tell you you're a lovely boy.
Yeah.
No, I'm wearing yellow. I'm wearing nothing but yellow underpants.
Oh, clean.
Great.
Are they clean?
They're crispy. Oh my God! Stop eating one.
Dirty.
Peter Martin, Wales v Argentina.
Crispy jocks.
Yeah, I actually did see pretty much all of this game. What's to say? Only that it was awful. Dreadful. Two awful teams.
Yep.
Going at it. I have to say, I was very desperately disappointed. I've been desperately disappointed with Argentina's performances as of late. I had been following them through the Rugby Championship, and you know they lost against England first up, and they were just worse than shite. You could smell them; they were that bad, and it doesn't seem to have happened. You know, gotten a whole lot better since. Like Wales managed to get into a lead, and then they lost it. I'm trying to remember, was there yellow cards and red cards? I think there was a couple of sin binnings at one stage. I'm clutching straws here. No, it was Wales chucked it away.
They're not great. You know, but both teams, as you say, Pete, both teams aren't great. They weren't great.
They were absolutely awful. Like the only thing I'd say is credit to Argentina to show a bit of character, to stick in there and somehow just get a goddamn win. They played a bit better in the second half. Obviously, whatever Czech said to them, and you know the dressing room, you know, there's a few, you know, bit of realization that they were in danger of getting out here unless we actually perform. Granted, they were missing Matera, who was on the sideline, injured, but there was enough quality in that Argentine team to do something to really, because to be perfectly honest, Wales really kind of punched their weight above their weight. Really, I felt. They should have lost to Fiji in the opening group match. So look, they got where they got, and ultimately left an awful lot out in the pitch. They made their line went to shit. You know, nothing else really more. Not a whole lot else more to say. It was entertaining for a neutral if you hadn't having a ballie about the game, because you know the ball has been flung about and dropped passes and a whole lot, but poor standard.
Peter, would I be right in saying their discipline let them down, Wales? Like they tried to front up, but there was discipline and errors, and there was soft penalties given in the first half. Would that be right? You know, that just seems to be the mantra of the Welsh rugby team. Like the soft penalties before half time. That's what it looked like to me. And I was literally flitting in and out of it. And I'd say Warren Gatland has to be disappointed with that. You know, he is, you know, and Argentina deserve a little bit of credit, even though they weren't up to the level that they should be up. But Checa has them very well drilled, and he knew how to force the errors and played right into, the Welsh played right into their hands by the looks of the couple of reports after it and stuff like that. So if I was a Welsh rugby fan, I'd be disappointed with that result. That they should be more disciplined in that going into a World Cup. Jesus Christ, they played the bigger dogs over and over. That's what it looked like to me, but that's just my tuppence worth.
Yeah, true. Okay, Mike Reedy.
I saw the game as well. I missed the beginning of it, but like Peter said, there were two really poor teams. And in all fairness, Wales got us further in this World Cup than anybody thought they were going to get to. Like, they were never going to get. I couldn't see them beating anybody, to tell you the truth. In the
game, to get off the fucking bus, for fuck's sake, Mike.
Well, like, you know, they had Georgia, Fiji, and Japan. Was it Japan? No, not Japan. Yeah, Japan in their group. No, it wasn't. It was some other.
I don't know. Anyway, who cares? Go on.
But they and Argentina haven't kicked the ball either. I just can't believe they're in a semi-final of the World Cup with the absolute garbage they've played. I mean, we've been
head on Michael Checker. Oh, he'd rot you.
But
the surprise teams in the semi-final, you could say the same fucking thing about England, Mike.
Absolutely. But
you know
what? England are the only unbeaten team in this World Cup. How fucked up is that, lads? Sorry about my language.
Until next week, they're going to have their arses handed to them. We all know
it. Anyway, thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers, flowers to the house.
Argentina have gone as far as they're going to go now, and Wales went as far as they deserve to go.
That's actually I'm borrowing that phrase from James Grennan, Sarah. It's not mine, so I'll give James Grennan that one. Right. Anyway, so that's that one. So next, because I'm time conscious and I want to get through it all. Mike, back to you. England versus Fiji. England winning that 30 points to 24.
I never actually saw a kick it. I didn't see a kick of the game, to tell you the truth, or the All Blacks, or sorry, the South African game. I didn't see that either.
All right, so you are surplus to requirements for this particular armchair analysis of this game. Right,
I was supporting my daughter in a marathon in New York.
The Fiji port.
Sarah, go on. You've started, so I'll let you finish. Go on. England.
Magnus moment there you had, did you?
There you go. Show me age. Go on.
Yeah. Is this the Fiji Portugal game?
No, England Fiji.
Oh,
fuck's sake. At least I know who's fucking playing and I didn't even see it.
Yeah, for fuck's sake. How long have you been fucking missing?
Go on, who are you? I've only had 3 mouthfuls of wine. Good night. Taxi for Duffy.
Go on out. Taxi for Duffy. She's got the giggles now. Go on.
I think you're doing the housework again.
And I've taken over the sitting room here. They're not happy. Fuck them. Anyway, they'll be grand.
Go on.
Who owns this fucking house? I know.
That's it. There you go. Well, just come on. England versus Fiji. For fuck's sake, stop.
What was the score? 30-24. Keep your fucking bit of hair on there, will you? For fuck's sake.
It's a solar panel for a sex machine.
It's like fucking talking to my husband here. Will you relax? Don't tell me to relax. It's like trying to baptize a fucking cat. Anyway, married life is great. This was a good game, I thought. It was a good game, and I thought the Fijians had these lads by the short and curlies. They really did. And you wanted them to do well, like. But they are a completely spirited team as well. Fiji, they give it everything they had, and I thought I seen the first half of it. I thought it was brilliant, and then I walked away, and then I seen the second half, and I seen the last couple of minutes of the second half, and I thought they had it in the bag. I really did, and I think everyone thought they had it in the bag. But the physicality and the total die-hard grit they had, absolutely brilliant. I was gutted for Fiji, to be honest with you. England have had their fair run at winning. But I think I speak for most people. They wanted to see Fiji go through. We all did.
Yeah.
Of
course it did. Yeah.
I believe their coach has stepped down as from yesterday or the day before, or something like that.
Has,
I mean, you'd be only too... I'd say they're devastated, because that is some shift for a coach to put in and get that far. Like, how long has it been? since they made a quarter final. They've got to they've played this stage before. If they had got through, it would have lifted the whole country. And I genuinely believe it's something very special. It's the start of something very special for that Fijian team. I really do. You know, the World Cup is only a foundation. This World Cup is only a foundation for that Fijian team. And they might not be top tier, but by Jesus Christ, I tell you, they're a team to watch. They are going to capitalise big time and move forward on that.
But you could say the same about Portugal, Sarah, as well. Portugal,
yeah, I tell you
we'll
what,
move on from this
Tonga,
as well, you know?
Tonga have some nice little, nice little. I wouldn't even call them little. They're like as big as the fucking door out there. Those 3 All Blacks that have moved to the Tongan team. Ah, Jesus, stop! They are a force of nature now. They, you know, I missed you too, whoever that is. Fair play to you.
Mr. Duffy and Burke, the Duffy and Burke duo.
That's a good ring to it.
There you go.
Now,
that's my tuppence worth. I thought they were powerful, and you know they bowed out gracefully. That's the way you want to bow out. You know, die hard, not giving up. You know.
Yeah, fair enough. Peter Martin.
England, Fiji. I didn't see it, but what I will say is I will echo everything Sarah has said, because Fiji were my second favourite team, second team for this World Cup. And as I've said previously on here, I basically, they're such a great watch. You know, if I could basically get my boys that are under 12s to watch rugby, as lads watch Fiji play, because it's enormous fun. It's basically minis rugby at adult level. That's the way they play. There's nothing complicated. There's no X balls. There's no ball at the back. There's no loop passes. It's just big man coming a ball and boom, just busting through tackles and offloads.
Offload.
It's rugby
and
at its purest
they
form.
keep it is. You're right, Pete. I totally agree with you. It's don't let the ball die attitude. Keep it alive at all costs. You know, and a scrum or a maul is an inconvenience to Fiji, and teams like Fiji who play the expansive game, but very much like France played. And they do similar stuff, but very much way France played in the mid to late 80s, early 90s. The joie de vivre, they're throwing the ball around the place. You know, that's the way Fiji play, and that's, you know, and other teams like them. Anyway, Mike, I'll go to, did you see the France? You didn't see the South African game, no?
No, I didn't know.
Okay, hold on. Right, we'll go. Pete,
my daughter,
did you see France v South Africa?
I did see France.
You were saying that. I saw the post. What did you think? You didn't? Sorry, you did or you didn't?
Oh, I did.
Oh, yeah, go on. Okay, go on.
Yeah,
go on.
I decided on Sunday the best thing to do for the cure was to get back on the horse, so I decided to watch France, South Africa, because I just wanted France to win.
Right.
And for anybody anybody who had never actually had remotely a bit of an interest in the game, or basically wanted to see a game for the age as well, France versus South Africa was fucking it. Like, what a start to the game. Holy shit. Like, I think it was Rob Carney who actually said it on, I don't know if you said it on TV or on Twitter. It was like the game's being played at fast forward speed. Unbelievable, breathless stuff. I was knackered sitting on the sofa watching it. Absolute end-to-end stuff. And South Africa being South Africa, massively resilient. And I would say that as they came into the game, I think I would argue that they perhaps broke France a little bit, because France kept on going. They had the crowd, obviously, you know, everything was going, trying, doing its best to go France's way. But the attacking rugby stuff was going to, balls were going to hand, the phases kept on going, the big plays were coming out. But South Africa, just every time France landed what they thought was a sucker punch to effectively put them down and break the team, South Africa just kept on coming back.
Well, Pete, let me ask you, and you brought it up in the group, the penalty that South Africa got, you know the one I'm talking about, because I was agreeing with you when you put it in. Another thing, why Jesus, like that gave South Africa the penalty. It stopped there.
Yeah.
I guess Smith or something had a breakdown, was it?
Yeah, the hands on the fucking.
I saw it. I've seen that.
Yeah.
His hand is clearly on the ground.
Here's the thing, right?
Go on.
There was a tweet from Nigel Owens.
Oh, I saw
about that particular incident. Did you see it, Peter?
I saw it. Yeah.
I did. I saw. Yeah, I did.
I just myself, Matt. I'm a massive fan of Nigel Owens, as I'm sure we all are, and loads of people who watch this and are on and blah blah. I just thought that was such a cop out. He
did cop out completely. All he said was what the ruling is. He didn't say.
Yeah.
He didn't.
But realistically, but Mike, hang on a second. Why do you put your hands on the ground if you're able to support your own body weight?
No, you're right. He completely copped out.
Yeah. So I just think it's like, again, just to emphasize the greatest respect to Nigel Owens, but that is fucking horseshit.
Yeah.
If he can support his own body weight, he doesn't have a need for his hands to be on the deck. He put his hands in his deck. What was he doing? Testing the fucking texture of the grass.
His right hand was flat on the ground.
Not on the fucking ground. So, and again, coming back to what Dupont said about the refereeing decisions, like, okay, you could point at half a dozen other ones. There was instance where the South Africans were coming in from the side several times, and you could see both sets of players were roaring at the referee at ruck time, saying, "What the absolute fuck going on?" Like hands in the air. And look, it's going that fast that I think I can't remember who it was in commentary saying like he's there's a million things happen here all at once. Beno keeps going to do well to keep his game. Yeah, he will. All he can do is pick up as much as he can in front of him. He's got assistant referees. He's got a TMO. If there's something else going on, the boys in the background need to stand up and instead of basically throwing O'Keefe under a bus, which you could argue, I'd say possibly was done, then he needs to be in the air. Hang on, Ben, you missed this, you missed that. You need to have a look at this. Stop the game, time out, whatever the fuck. Yeah. Didn't happen.
That's why they're there to support him, and
absolutely.
What's this I read about? South Africa kept making HIA changes or something like that. It is like during late in the game.
The cynics there, right? And this, I suppose, this brings us into. Remember that kick from, was it Ramos? It was going for a 50-22. That what's his name? Fullback. Oh
Colby.
Jesus! No, not Colby.
No,
Williams a call.
Williams.
And this signal. Normally you can call for the mark, and it's a kick. It's a free kick, and it's a kick to touch.
Yeah.
But deliberately, this I suppose it's what Rassi was doing, and he explained it. I don't know if anyone else actually saw it.
I saw it.
Yeah. Very interesting.
There was no scrums in the game, and they were wanting scrums.
Exactly. They're basically trying to slow basically play the game at their South Africans' pace. South Africans would love a game where there's 50 scrums a match. And,
he was basically
France use up time.
France like to kick the ball away. They like to kick the ball back into your half.
And they changed the tactics afterwards. They realised, in fairness to the French, they kicked shorter after that.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show, look, where Razzie is as regards
they pushed
the game. They pushed him. He's not innovating.
Gentlemen, sorry, Sarah, before I come to you for about the France South Africa game, Mike, Pete, is Razzie a genius or is he
a fucking chance?
Listen,
he does know his stuff. I will give him that, but he pushes absolutely everything to the limits and beyond. He tests the water consistently. What I can get away. It's always what I can get away with. What can I do something different to noise people up? And I know it's still within the laws, and people know it's wrong, but it's within the laws. He's done it.
Okay,
it's 7-1.
He's done it. Pete, Razzie, cynic or genius?
I'll put it to you like this.
Or is there another word to describe?
Well, I'll put it to you like
words I use to describe.
I'll put it to you like this. if we hadn't had the bullshit going on and the videos and the previous abuse and the carry on over was it Nick Berry in New Zealand referee in the Lions series, and he made a big hullabaloo on all this. And if he didn't engage to the level that he does with supposed mind games, I'd say yes. I'd take my hat off and I'd say, do you know what? He's an innovator. I would begrudgingly say yes, he is a genius. But the fact that he's carried on the way that he has, in my opinion, he's kind of tainted a little bit. Like there he is now calling out the England game, and he's there smiling. He's naming the 15. Like like you know what I mean. We know what he's at. He is rugby's Mourinho to an extent.
Yeah, true. How are you, Matt? I hope you're getting on well down in Seafield where you are. Enjoy. And we'll
good evening, Matt.
Sarah,
anyone that uses a traffic light system for kicking or whatever the fuck he does is a fucking gobshite. He's not a cynic. He's not a genius. Like red, like that's what you learn in creche. Green means go. Orange means slow down if it's safe to do so and go ahead. What is he doing? The fucking green cross code. Fucking Egypt. Anyway, what a fucking game of rugby. That second half didn't really scale to the heights of the first half. Like, it was precise attacking play in the first half. It was aggressive. It was intensity. Yet it remained completely and utterly gripping stuff. I couldn't take my eyes off it. None of my children were fed. There was no child washed, fed, answered to when the fucking game was on.
Yeah, two were called for.
You're
and ask somebody else to feed you, okay? Tell them mommy's busy or something. But there was so many moments in that game where it swung back and forth before they edged. And, they edged it at a bare minimum, lads. Let's face it. It was absolutely... That was genius rugby. Nothing to do with that fucking gobshite we were just talking about. Stop it.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Right.
Gone. But you did feel for France, and
100%.
Because who isn't a Dupois fan? He's an amazing player, absolute top class. But they did they did make it up to the halfway and with a brilliant break and stuff like that, but they lost possession, and you can't lose possession to a team like South Africa because they will absolutely throw a saddle up on your back and ride you around the fucking field. And
go on, Oda.
You know what I mean? Like bridle at the whole fucking.
I like your analogy, Sarah.
Galloping up the fucking field with you.
I'm coming back to you. Okay, I'm coming back to you. I'm just conscious of time. I'm coming back to you, Sarah, on this.
I have all night.
I know, but unfortunately, we don't. Right, Sarah. Right, here we go. The final game, our game versus New Zealand. Prior to the match, 78% of people thought that we were going to beat New Zealand.
I did 100%.
It was a game of mixed fortunes for Ireland. Taylor and Smith getting yellow carded. Gibson Park, Aki scoring tries for us. Jordan, Fainga, Savea scoring tries for them. We let in an easy try. Our set piece was misfiring. I could go on. Go on, Sarah. What did you think of it?
Lads, let's face it. We've all played this game, but we all know it. If your set pieces are not meticulous going into any final situation, be it quarter, semi, or final, if your set pieces and your lineouts are not bang on and scripted, you're not going to fucking win a game. And it kills me to say that. I am a huge Dan Sheehan fan. I was delighted to see him come back. The lineouts were good. O'Mahony in the fucking air. Lads, you'd put your house on him to get the fucking line out and drill it home. I was gutted to see Henderson was gone after that nasty wrist injury the previous week. there's not enough words to describe Bundy Aki, how incredible of a player he is. Everyone has said it. He is in the best shape of his life. He's had the career of his life at the moment. He has done Connacht so proud. And that green jersey alone, he's done it so proud. He's my player of the tournament. The whole lot of them played amazing.
James Grennan is actually firing one off there. Listen to you, Sarah, about Aki.
But you know what I mean? Like, okay, let's be critical. We could have swung that if Johnny Sexton had got that penalty. Let's be honest. That was 3 points in the bag. He could have swung that. But you can't give the All Blacks a fucking millimetre or they're in. Those Barrett brothers, the 8, the 15, the 12, absolute pocket rockets, dynamite. They went out to kick and hand us our arses. And I think they did. I hate saying it. I'm a huge fan of the lads. I think the quarter-final curse got in their heads more than anything else, more than any other All Blacks player tried to do. And I have nothing bad to say about Wayne Barnes, because if I say something bad about him, I'd be fucking hung, drawn and quartered on the fucking thing. But I don't have anything bad to say. He's an excellent referee. To say I was disappointed is an understatement. I actually couldn't, believe it or not, couldn't fucking talk properly after the game.
Like us all. Okay, thanks, Sarah. Peter Martin, Ireland versus New Zealand.
Yeah, just to basically echo an awful lot of what Sarah said. The All Blacks basically brought their A game. We were like our B game. And look, that's effectively how it transpired. I actually read an article there the other day that after the series loss last summer to Ireland, that Scott McLeod, the defence coach with the All Blacks, they actually remodeled their entire defence system because they were frightened by how much every time we moved the ball wide in that test series, how easy we got beyond their defence. We basically frightened the shite out of them. So they remodeled it. They basically, effectively, in simple terms, in rugby, like, defence, it's man on man stuff, and you just keep an eye. You're marking a man. But the way Ireland play in attack, it's basically trying to create holes for men to run into. So effectively, they would, in simple terms, they effectively learned to mark space in between players as well as players. So look, the All Blacks, we know that there's no team like them. And I've said it before, they're almost like the Borg for those sci-fi fans who watch Star Trek.
Know them.
Yeah. They basically learn on the job. And now they learned from 12 months previous. They were gunning for us. They knew, well, as we knew that we were going to face them, they knew they were going to face us. And they prepared accordingly by a remodel of their defence to beat us. And by Christ, it worked because we couldn't really penetrate.
Sorry, Pete. Was that Joe Schmidt? Was that Joe Schmidt?
Trust you there. Yeah, this is where it's all coming back now. Sarah's getting all excited about that word, that P word.
Jesus, Peter, that was some poker face you said there. Holy
see,
fuck.
My head's not in the gutter, Sarah. Keep drinking that wine. Go on.
But come here, Pete. Was that?
What are you saying for?
Was that? No, I'm just saying to Pete on the point he's making there. Was that Joe Schmidt's influence there, or is he? Did he change that? New Zealand style of play.
The article that I read, it was basically all about Scott McLeod, who's the All Blacks defence coach. That's what he said. Now, obviously, Schmidt will have an input. They'll all, meet in the room, drink a pot of coffee, and go through analysis of videos and shit. So look, Schmidt, no doubt, on the strike plays, on that Jordan try, that was Schmidt all over. There was basically they analysed. Look, there's no perfect system. No team has a perfect system when it comes to defence. So Schmidt obviously decided that this was going to be one that they'd have in the locker to launch off a particular time. That was off a 4-man lineout.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet. I don't know, it might have been our friend Brett Igo, who was on here previously, who said, and I stand to be correcting this, it's over 2 years since the All Blacks used a 4-man attacking lineout. So, for me, that would read in that we need to use. They basically went to all the level and all the preparation to try and beat us, and they did. So it wasn't basically a question of, they rocked up in the night and said, we'll just give it a lash and they'll give it a lash and see who's going to win. They knew what they were fucking doing.
Yeah,
they had an absolute plan. They had something there that they knew was going to basically nullify our attack and would have 1 or 2 chances, and that's all they need. All they need is basically 1 or 2 chances to score a try, and it can be the difference in a tight game in knockout rugby.
There you go, Pete. I'm just sorry again. Sorry, go on, Sarah.
Yeah, no. Did you see the thing? A lot of people, the scaremongers, were saying, "Oh, sure, Joe Schmidt knows this Ireland team." How would he know the Ireland team? Each coach has their own.
Listen, everybody knows every team that studies rugby.
Yeah, he knows them, but
no great secrets.
He didn't teach Andy Farrell everything he fucking knew. He didn't come out and say that. And people were saying, but sure, Joe Schmidt was already in their heads. He knew what way they were trained. He knew. He hadn't a fucking notion. Like no club. You can look at as many videos as possible. In actual fact, credit to the man, Joe Schmidt, the way he approached every Ireland player at the end of that game was something remarkable. And I have to say, like,
genuine nice guy.
Lovely fella.
He was very humble in any celebration that the All Blacks got. Clearly, he's on the coaching team, but we were just off on the day, and I have to mention that kick that Kobe. We forgot to mention it in the last one. That kick that Kobe blocked in the thing. Oh my Jesus. He knew that kicker to a T. All he had to do was move his foot, and he was up. Mother Jesus, is he an Olympic running champion or something?
He's actually Sarah. He's related to somebody. He's related
his
to
his brother Pete. I think his brother Pete is the 400-meter champion or something like that.
Yeah, one of the fastest people on the planet. So there you go.
What the fuck is he eating in the mornings? Because I
think that was illegal anyway. Shut us all off. I think that was illegal, and that's all we say about that.
But he moved. Moved. It's not illegal if the kicker moves. Don't start.
Right. We're running out of time. We'll go get your dice and start hoovering again.
Drink. Fucking, I'm taking this ad on. Quick, hold it. Hold on, tie me here.
Mike Reedy. Mike.
Duffy's back. Duffy's back.
Go on, Anna. Mike Reedy, before we run out of time, because we've other stuff to talk about. Oh, geez, Mike's
just fucked off.
Someone tried to phone me.
Mike's had a power cut. Oh, there he is.
Oh, someone just tried to phone me.
I see, right, okay.
I'm using my phone.
Ireland versus New Zealand, Mike. What did you think of that?
Well, I just echo what the other guy said.
Where was the game lost?
Line out. I mean, most of our play comes from set piece. It didn't function. Yeah. Like Sarah and Peter just said, if it doesn't, you're pissing against the wind. Really, it's such an important facet of our game, especially the line out, and it's just completely malfunctioning in the entire World Cup. If we're honest, apart from the Scotland game, it wasn't up to standard at all. Lads, I don't want to be a killjoy, but as far as I'm concerned now, in the cold light of day, we've underachieved in this World Cup. And it's a harsh thing to say based on one game, losing one game. But we did lose that one game, and we cannot get over that fucking hurdle, that goddamn quarterfinal crap thing. And we're good enough, lads. There's no doubt about it. We're still one of the top teams in the world.
I totally agree with you.
And we're gone home, and there's 2 absolute shite teams still there. It's fucking embarrassing.
I know. All right, okay. I'll tell you what. We'll
go on.
Go on, Sarah. Sorry, what?
No,
I was going to say.
Right, Mr. Burke, go on. Go say what you were going to say.
I was going to say there's obviously a delay. There's a sound delay, obviously, somewhere. But I was going to say where I thought our game was lost. There was a few areas, but we always rely on our 1 to 8 foot go forward balls, and one of those 1 to 8 players that we mostly rely on, it can be a mixture of Van der Fleer, Porter, Sheehan, Omani, but one of them is Caelan Doris, who always gives us good go forward ball. Throughout that 80 minutes, he was targeted by Sam Cane and he was milled out of it. And we got no forward ball off Caelan Doris. That means that you have 7 lads there trying to get go forward ball, which is not an easy thing to do against a team like the All Blacks. That's where I thought one of the areas where our game was lost, because we couldn't get that forward momentum because Doris was effectively taken out of the game by Kane and others, but mainly Kane. I think Kane had him in his crosshairs for most of that. But sorry, what?
Prior to the game,
he had him in his arse pocket.
Prior to the game,
I thought you said something else there. Go on anyway.
New Zealand went to Wayne Barnes prior to the game to emphasise Porter's scrummaging. And
scrummaging, and he was penalised for it
illegally, and he fucking watched it and gave 3 scrum penalties against him. Like that's hard. That's a massive thing in a tight game like that. You know, like it's just frustrating. Listen,
it's almost a known fact. It's just that Porter has been getting away with it for the last few years. Is that his arse is pointing towards the sideline more often than it's not.
But that's also being dictated now as well with the tight head. The tight head is pushing him or dragging him in as well to make it look worse. And
all those scrum penalties, Mike, were basically on New Zealand ball. Yeah. Ireland, as I reckoned beforehand, that Ireland would go after New Zealand in the scrum because their 2 props that they had selected aren't known for scrummaging, so they all do. Porter and Furlong went after them, and what happened there is that, as you said, New Zealand drew Wayne Barnes' attention to the fact that Porter scrummages crooked, illegally, whatever way you want to call it. His backside is facing towards the sideline more often than not. In fact, there was a graphic done up by Rugby World Cup showing the team of the round or something like that, the group stage, and had Porter. It's like a helicopter view. Porter's in it, and he's scrummaging. They have it scrum. His arse is actually sticking out of the scrum.
That's some fucking arse.
He's not driving straight in the fucking picture.
Yeah, but that's a picture produced as well for that purpose. That's a picture produced for purpose.
It's a picture produced for purpose, Mike. But you could argue that if it's not part of the truth, it's some way of the truth. Like, do you know what I mean?
I know, but if we got the same view of every loose head prop scrummaging during the World Cup, you'd get a similar view. I guarantee you would. It's just.
Listen, what the fuck he's talking about helicopter views for fuck's sake? Porter's fucking hole is so fucking big, you could land a fucking helicopter on it.
I'm pretty sure that's in the fucking Karma Sutra book, though.
Porter's fucking hole. Who gives a bollocks? Jesus Christ.
Look at everyone's Googling helicopter position, pitch landing. They're all fucking. Anyway, the wine I'm drinking is Oyster Bay because it's on special offer for €9. So if Andy Farrell,
tell Sarah what's the bouquet and what's the palate.
I'm fucking drinking it, Pete. Would you fuck off?
Lads, wine. It tastes like wine.
Like, lads, you're lucky I'm actually putting it in a glass because any other evening I'm like, I couldn't be arse washing that. Drinking.
Folks, Mike Reedy, I'll come to you first on this. Looking forward, right? They're all the games.
Peter,
yes.
Hello.
What?
Somebody else.
What?
So if Andy Farrell announced that over the next 2 seasons he was not worried about results, but was going to concentrate on building a new squad by introducing and capping young players and trying out new combinations, would the supporters agree to stick with him? 100% stick with him.
100% they would, yeah.
100% I would as well.
Follow him through revolving fucking doors. Absolutely.
I've said this before. We have got to concentrate on preparing for a World Cup. We've won 6 Nations, we've won Grand Slams. Listen, it's lovely to win all these things, but the World Cup is our fucking holy grail. And we have got to get beyond that quarter final. It's embarrassing. It's actually embarrassing for us as the strongest rugby playing nation going into this World Cup, and we were for a full year, and we haven't got past the quarter final, and England and Argentina have. No, that's down to the draw. Fair enough. But if we had any aspirations about winning the World Cup, we needed to beat fucking New Zealand anyway. So we didn't. No, we have got to prepare better.
We beat them before. We
We have beaten before. We'll beat them again, but we have got to beat them on the biggest stage. Yeah, and that's where we're not. That's where we're falling down. And I would be all for just going straight, fucking bin everything, by the way, and prepare for the World Cup.
Okay.
Go on, Peter.
I would tend to agree with you. I was moving on because we're rapidly running out of time. Mike Reedy, I'm going back around this way because we're going this way. Briefly, semi-final number 1, Argentina versus New Zealand. Who's winning that?
New Zealand, without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Okay. Peter Martin?
The same by 30 points.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, Sarah Duffy.
I'd say about 23 points.
Okay.
Arse is on plates.
Sarah, Arse is on plates doing the helicopter movement. All right, and all that sort of stuff.
I fucking Google it. It's interesting, lads. That's an interesting move now.
Right, Sarah Duffy, back to you. England versus South Africa with Ben O'Keefe, a Southern Hemisphere refing that. Who do you think is going to win that?
Yeah, South Africa will do well by about, I'd say, about 15 points.
Right, okay. Peter Martin?
I'm predicting that at half time in the ITV studio, Clive Woodward is going to be creaming himself because why is he watching some other movie or something or what? Because you see he thinks
he's doing the helicopter.
2003, folks. That's why he thinks it's.
Sorry, say that again, please. Oh, I see, Rush. Yeah.
It's 20 years ago, Clive. You know, maybe perhaps he needs to go for HIA himself. No, but seriously, I reckon that it won't be for the first half of the game. I reckon England will be in it. And I'd say you're looking at halftime, South Africa being maybe 10 points ahead only. And then, you know, all hell will break loose in the second half, and it'll be something along the lines of South Africa 45, England 15.
Oh, really? That big a spread?
Yeah. Just a caveat: 0 fucks given at this stage about the competition.
All right, absolutely. Mike Reedy, England versus South Africa.
I am actually going to support England for this, and it's something I wouldn't normally do in my life. But I'll tell you what, I despise South Africa. That's. I'm not going to make any secret of it. I despise.
Mike, are you sure you don't need a hug or something? That's very strong.
I despise everything. Do you know something? They personify everything that is wrong with fucking rugby. They do.
Some fans on here that are South Africans.
That being said, they're very, very good as well. So they don't actually need to go on with all these fucking histrionics that they do. They're a very, very good and efficient rugby team, and they'll absolutely beat England out the gate. They'll fucking could be as much.
I tell you what, Mike. We have a few South African members here. I know the sentiment you're making, but they're not all bad. They're not.
No, and I know lots of nice South African people, but it's just the way everything is gone in this World Cup. And Rassie Erasmus, as far as I'm concerned, he's what's wrong with South African rugby, because he brings this edge to the game that doesn't need to be there. And people are calling him a genius and calling him this and that and the other thing. He's a menace as far as I'm concerned.
But do you really think they paid him with a little flashlight? I mean, come on. Stop.
He's history of doing it, Sarah. That's part of the.
But do you think Kirk LaFleur, do you think Faf looks up and goes, oh, he wants me to kick it? Would you stop? You don't.
No, Faf looks up and he goes.
Yeah, L'Oreal, is he worth it? Yeah.
Listen, they're very, very. Make no mistake about it. They're a brilliant rugby team, and they don't need all that shit. They don't need him. They don't need him dictating to them on the pitch what to do. They're qualified to do what they're on that pitch doing, and they're very, very good at it. They're very efficient. They're brilliant. They've got brilliant individuals and an outstanding team.
Mike,
but
I think they're going to win.
Sorry, Mike. We've got seconds left, and there's 4 games coming up in the URC as well. we'll end it on this. I know I don't think any of us know the teams. I don't think they've been announced yet. Or maybe they have. I don't know.
No, they haven't.
Sarah Duffy, we got. Oh, they haven't. All right. Glasgow are playing Leinster in Glasgow. Any thoughts or feelings, or is it just going to be the first few games? Sure, who the hell knows who's going to turn up, who's going to be named?
No, that's Leinster's for the taking. Unless Glasgow have had a massive influx in great players. I
don't think so. Yeah.
You don't think they have? Oh no.
I don't think Glasgow have. No.
No, you have the one for Leinster. Like, look who the Irish team have left behind there. They've left a good Leinster squad. There's a decent Munster squad left behind as well. Leinster will hand them, they do the job on them. And yes, I agree.
Okay.
Porter's hole is pure muscle. Absolutely.
I'm talking about Porter's fucking hole. Peter Martin, Glasgow, Leinster.
Right, Glasgow, Leinster. Is that in Glasgow or is it in Dublin?
It's in Glasgow, yeah.
On the plastic.
Leinster.
Look, based on last season and the fact that the Leinster contingent are going to be off for a number of weeks, I would say Leinster will get across the line. I don't think they haven't had a magnificent pre-season. I don't think Leinster, but
no,
yeah.
All right, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I haven't got a clue now. I really don't. I haven't got a clue either of the teams are going to be, but it's on the plastic at Scotstoun, and I hope Leinster win it. I live.
You know
Glasgow,
more about cricket, Mike.
Sorry.
You know more about cricket, don't you?
I do know a little bit about cricket. Yeah.
Right. Okay, Mike. Munster v Sharks. Any thoughts on that, or do you care?
Where is that? In Thomond, is it?
You should care.
Thomond Park?
Munster at home.
Munster will win
Thomond
that.
Or the other place.
It doesn't matter where it is.
Okay,
I think Munster will win it. I think Munster will win that anyway. Yeah. Because they have pretty strong. They're going to have a pretty strong team.
Yeah, I would say Munster. Look, they're reigning URC champions. I'm sure they'll be showing off the cup and blah blah. And there's a feel good vibe at Munster. All the what?
Yeah. What?
They're reigning URC champions. They'll be showing off the cup. All the coaches have signed on for another period of time. So, yeah, home win.
Okay, brilliant, Sarah.
Yeah, Munster get it done.
Okay, back to you, Sarah. Connacht are playing. Excuse me. What?
Did you want me to say any more?
What? No, Graham. We're running out of time. Last two games. Sarah, back to you. Connacht v Ospreys.
Oh,
Connacht are at home.
That'll be a close one.
Yeah, I think so.
Ref TMO 9-man. They fucked up Ireland's game last weekend. Look at all the videos.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're over.
Yeah. Listen. Thanks for your comment. I won't be looking back over the videos because I prefer not to get depressed again. But appreciate it, pal. Thanks, pal.
Yeah. There you go. Right. Go on. Did you answer that question? Connacht v Ospreys? No. Yeah.
Oh no! I just said it'd be a tight one.
Giggity.
Go on out of that. Is that what you're about
Go on out of that. I was about to say that. Yeah.
Whatever you're having yourself.
Peter Martin. Go on. We're way over time. Peter Martin. Connacht v Ospreys.
Yeah, Connacht to win. Hopefully, maybe. Don't know. It's on the plastic pitch. Probably piss and rain, howling wind, the whole lot.
Where's that?
Galway.
Connacht by 7.
Yeah. Go on, Mike. Connacht v Ospreys. Connacht by 7. Okay, Mike.
Connacht by 7.
Back to you. Last one, and then we're off. All right. Okay. The last one, Mike. Back to you. Zebra, whatever the fuck you call them. They're entertaining Ulster.
Oh God! I tell you what, I really hope Ulster can lift their game and fucking, because the way they ended last season was so bad. I'm gonna go with Ulster. I'm gonna go with it to say they'll fucking turn them over in
just
Parma,
for pure pig iron.
Where's it? Parma? Is that where they play?
Grant. Okay. Zebra. Oh, fuck, whatever. Parma, yeah, over there somewhere.
One's a horse with black and white.
Peter Martin.
The other one's a rugby team.
Bearing in mind, Zebre have only won one game ever in the URC, and I think this is shit or bust season for Dan McFarland. Ulster will have to go out all guns blazing and put a score up. So yeah, Ulster to win.
All right, okay, and Sarah Duffy.
Poor Mrs. Burke.
Yeah, they're just
Peter
slagging me
is
as always. Go on.
All right. Peter is very strict on not going on. Is that person speaking from experience? What do they work for? Ann Summers or something like that?
I have no idea.
Would you work under batteries? Anyway, Ulster are going to win that.
What's this, Joke? What's this? Sarah, there's your spring-loaded thing there. Look.
Woo!
See that?
You put that at the side of the bed or the end of the bed. Asking for a friend.
It's on the mirrored ceiling.
Oh yes! Go on, Peter.
God.
The bitch when the fucking tiles fall off, though. And they're a nightmare to fucking clean. Oh.
Just as well, this is past the threshold.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
This is a late show, lads.
Danny and Claire and Matt and James, and the wine was good, and it was great to see us all.
Great stuff. There you go. Right. Thanks very much. People are laughing. Right, folks, that's it. We're way over. We're 6 minutes over time.
Oh,
all that's. I know.
Bet you that's the first time you said that, Peter.
Go on. Jesus. I'm after smashing my underpants.
What a comeback by Duffy. Jesus.
Come again. Stop.
Seriously. Right. All that's left for me to do, for us to do, is thank you all for watching and listening and watching on the replay. The folks who appeared tonight with me were Mike Reedy, Peter Martin, and a huge welcome back to Sarah Duffy. Folks, thank you very much, and we shall all talk soon. Take care. And good luck.
Toodles.
Cheers, guys. Thanks very much.
Toodles. Good luck.